Script? Did we have a script today? Or we just winging it? Yeah, that's right, boy. That's right. Welcome everybody. CZALEO knows it all. Episode 14. Hold on. Oh, got my code right. Oh, that's right, boy. Yeah, no dinero, me no hablo. It's your boy, the ones and twos. Episode 14. We got a special show for you. Thank you for coming in. CZALEO knows it all. TGN Latinx, the Good News Radio. Happy to have you here. Happy to be here today. I got two of my bros here today. I got my little bro Matthew and my little bro Christopher Garza with us today. You'll see Chris in a little bit after I go through my usual spiel. So thank you for being here, guys. TGN Latinx, CZALEO knows it all. Episode 14. Here we go. Like usual, today's show is brought to you by a lot of things, right? Mostly La Suprema related items. All right. We got our YouTube page, South Central America. Hank is not going to be here with us today. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks. He's taking a much needed vacation. Big shout out to my boy Hank. We're going to miss you for a couple of weeks, Big Dot, but we got my little bro Matt. Matt, come into the shot real quick so people can see you real quick. All right, here we go. Handsome guy. Look at him. Yeah. He's going to be engineering today. What's up? He's going to be on the ones and twos, so everybody let me know if he does a good job or not, okay? Be honest. I'm just kidding, though. We're going to have a good time today, all right? So the other things I want to get out there too. You know what? We're looking for help today. I'm looking for people to help me get this thing going. I need kind of help with the marketing ideas, people to edit clips and all that good stuff. If you know somebody, send them my way, man. I'd love to have them help out on the show, man. Okay. So besides that, I'm gonna get into today's monologue of the day like I usually do, man. So to get to it. Today's monologue is about the future, okay? And the future is called Generation Alpha, okay? Generation Alpha is any kids who are under 12 years old. If you have kids today under 12, they're part of that generation. If you notice they're all kind of on their phones and stuff, right? But Generation Alpha is the future, right? Generation Alpha is the kids right now who we can still save, right? The reason I say this, man, is because more than anything, man, like I'm an old millennial, right? But millennials and Gen Z, they're just crack. They're caca, dog, you know? We're like a lost generation. Have you guys ever heard of Japan's lost generation? Do you guys, anybody know, familiar with that term? Japan's lost generation, I think, is like kids before 1991. Japan, you know, in the 80s and 90s, they were like really kicking ass, right? They were like one of the world's biggest powers, right? But then they had a big, giant economic crisis hit them. Right. And then that generation, the thing with Japan is they're very like, you know, they're very their society is very much structured on where you live and all that, like your job. Right. That's the way it was always set up, like perfectly in line. But what happened is eventually, you know, it's like that generation, they fell out of line. And the thing with them that's very much like if you don't get in by this age at that time, you're not going to be that by the end of your career. Right. Everybody, they dedicate their whole life to their companies. Right. So that generation, there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of 40 years old. They even have a name for them. Right. They're like the Haikiku men or something like that. Right. They're like they just stay in the room and they play video games. Right. They're just like this this lost generation who there's articles about them. If you ever have some time, look into it. Right. It's some interesting stuff. Right. Because, you know, it's a kind of it shows you about like Japanese culture. Right. And like the intensity of how they are. Right. Which is, you know, good or bad, however you may see it. Right. But that's kind of like the that's how we gotta look at the millennials and the Gen Zs, man. Like, you know, millennials and Gen Z, we just have our morals and everything all messed up, dog. You know, I'm not saying that there's not exceptions to the rules, man, but overall, like, you know, I feel we're like the bastard children of the 60s, man. We're like the bastard children of, and I'll tell you that I'll kind of go deeper into that. We're like the bastard children of like the hippies, right? These folks. You know what's funny? When I was a kid, I thought they were cool, and now I just look at them as like 30 hippies. Like, I can't stand them, right? And the Frankfurt School, right? The Frankfurt School, if you're not sure what that is, the Frankfurt School is like, that's where all this liberalism came in, right? It came in that time in the 60s. That's when all these new ideas came in, which, you know, they were good. A lot of them, you know, feminism was already around before that, you know, but they pushed that, and civil rights, which was great, right? But there was also pushed a lot of extremes, right? It became like division, right? The Frankfurt School was like, they figured out after like the World War II that you couldn't, you know, they had communism wasn't going to work, right? Capitalism won. So they figured out instead of doing like the proletariat versus the bourgeoisie, it was going to become, you know, the oppressed versus the oppressor, right? They just learned a way to reformulate their argument, right? And that's they infiltrated our universities and everything you learn, and that's how we get to, you know, the cultural Marxism that we have today, and the, you know, the socialism that seems to be, you know, everywhere in our culture, man. It's really seeped into everything, man. And, you know, there's a lot of examples of it. Like, you know, there's a lot of like our age, you know, it's programming. Like one thing I always say, it's really deep right now. There's I can't. I spent my time already trying to. You can't save people. Some people, man, they're just too deep in, man. You can lead them to water, but you can't make them drink. So don't waste your time with those folks, man. What we really need to focus on, in my opinion, is the future, man, which is Generation Alpha, right? They are what is the future, right? And the war is on right now, right? This is not your mama's propaganda, right? Propaganda these days, it's hardcore, bro. It's everywhere. It's in every, there seems to be some pushback now, finally, right? The last couple of things, Top Gun, it wasn't, woke. I saw Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers, which was awesome, right? They didn't go down that path. But it's already like it's deep programming, right? Have you guys heard of that movie, What Is a Woman, that came out?
I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's got the Matt Walsh movie, right? It's kind of controversial, right? But that one, there's pushback on what's going on, right? So, but it's also like what's kind of disappointing about the movie. Parts of it shows like it's not even just here, dude. It's everywhere, man. Like even like it's seeped into all parts of the culture, right? So. The hope though is that youth, right? The youth usually means rebellion, Bart Simpson here, right? Like, one thing that I said this from a long time ago, right? So, but we have to maybe help them or maybe nudge them a little, right? Our precious Generation Alpha, right? Our precious kids, because youth usually means rebellion, right? Usually you have to be opposite of what your teachers are, right? So if the teachers are all teaching one thing, if I'm correct, youth usually rebels, right?
Yeah.
And hopefully, that's what I'm kind of counting on. Usually when the generation thinks whatever they did before sucked and it's all nerdy, right? And since the agenda is really seeped into our education system and all that, right? Hopefully the youth will push back, right? Let me see here. And then it's actually kind of easy to push back, man. If you think about it, it's all propaganda. Like I always tell people, man, with your kids, man, you have to because look, this is what they do, man. America, they're already they're more tech savvy than their millennial parents, right? TV, tablets, right? Only 2% Alpha are not using any type of technology. Like they all know how to use something. Right? Mine are more limited than most, but they know what's up, right? But you know what? Use 80s movies, 90s movies. They're the best. They have the best plots. They have, you know what I'm saying? Like look at the popularity of Karate Kid and all that, right? Cobra Kai, right? So go for it, man. Let's focus on our youth, right? They're still savable. I say millennials and Gen Z, just forget about it, man. I mean, the ones who want to be saved, the ones who want to, use logic, not be saved, right? But those who want to come to, Reason Town, take the red pill of knowledge, right? Not the red pill of conservative. That's not what it means, right? It just means of knowledge, right? If you think that's what it is, like I said, you're not in the culture, you don't know what's up, right? So that's what I have to say about that. All right, let me let you in at that, right? Look, let me see. Let's bring Chris in, dog, and see what he thinks about that, dog. And Matthew, let's see. My boy Chris, everybody say what's up to my boy Chris.
Hey, what's up, guys?
This handsome guy right here is my little bro Chris, man. He's a actor, a up-and-coming entertainer, soon-to-be podcast host. I'm trying to convince him to do it, man. He's an educator, man. Just an all-around great guy, man.
Good to be here, brother. Good to be here. What's up, Matthew?
He's a big vato now, man. He's one of the many people who has left the state because of things that are going on, right? I told him I'm here holding it down until he comes back.
That's right. That's right.
All right, big dog. So what you think, big dog?
Oh, man, great stuff. I'm really glad you're bringing up the topic of the kids, Generation Alpha, because one thing I'm doing here in Vegas, as I said last time I was on the show, is I started working in a school again as a teacher. I hadn't done that in a while, and working in a school again, it's been such a blessing and such a rewarding experience. Every time I try to get out, they keep calling me back in. It's one of those things with schools, and I love it. I'm just so passionate about helping. We really have to help the future, but there's so many things to fix, man. There's so many things to fix. But to go with what you said, as you talked about Japan's lost generation, it was funny because I related to a lot of those things. What they were saying, I felt like that was a time when I came out of school, and I feel somewhat like them sometimes.
Yeah, we were rocked by that old crisis too, man.
The recession that came our way. We were taught by technology, but we didn't have technology yet. So if you remember, all of our courses were like, this is how the computers are going to work, but the system's not working right now. So just pretend and we just push a couple of buttons, and we passed. But we weren't really taught that. So some of us got stuck for a while making that transition. But the good thing about America, and I pray for Japan, is that there's so much opportunities here where people were able to evolve. And I think, like my time, I was born in '84. In our time, guys, it took a while for us in our early 20s to get there. But now in our 30s, a lot of people are finding their way. So when I saw the lost generation of Japan, I related I relate a lot of it to
there's a lot
us.
about the millennials, yeah, because there's like we're like I told you, we're the wizard. We have all these.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are overgrown teenagers, overgrown adolescents, man. So,
and you know what?
Yeah.
So with that, with the Gen Z, how it's lost, I've seen it's because our values have changed. I went to a church service the other day, and real quick, it just talked about how things are changing. There's no longer generational change. So grandparents don't feel they have the role with the kids, and therefore kids, they don't know what they're being taught. And that's why Gen Z and millennial, we're all just confused because there used to be one set of values, one village.
No, like I saw the Chip and Dale movie with my kids, and we all could relate to it. Like I shouldn't be watching the same kids as my kids. You know what I'm saying? Into the same exact things. Like we're like top guy, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like it's true, though. All right, so we gotta move on though from this topic, man. But everybody in the comments, thank you for logging in, man. Thank you for watching us. Now we're gonna move on to the news of the day. CZALEO Burger. Hold on, let me get my folder out here. My folder of news that I've been studying.
Here comes the news.
All right, man. We're moving on to the news, man. What's going on in this world, man? So let me see here. Aquí las noticias. Okay. So Kavanaugh, did you guys hear about what's going on? This is the reason I'm bringing up this thing. The Kavanaugh, there was like a death attempt on one of the Supreme Court justices, Kavanaugh, right? But the reason I bring it up because it's like it's not big news, right? It just shows the partisanship of today's media, right? It's been lightly covered. Like, dude, the Supreme Court justice to be attacked at his house, that's major big news, right? Like, that's a violation for people to know where they are. That's like a violation of all privacy, right? But it barely makes the news cycle. It doesn't end up being the biggest deal about it, and that's very worrisome, right? So another thing I wanted to bring up, man, this is kind of personal, man. Chris is gonna remember, man. This is kind of messed up, man. I'm gonna bring up my boy Justin Bieber, dog. And I'll bring up a nice picture of him because the world is so cruel, dog. The world is so cruel, man. Everybody, so long story short, he's going through he's having like a issue with his face, man. And then when I was in high school, I went through Bell's palsy, man. I had something similar happen to me, dog. So I'm very
your senior year.
Yeah, my senior year, dog.
It was big.
Senior year, dog. Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. It affected me, right? If some people notice, I kind of have a sleepy eye, right? It's kind of like had an after effects, right? But I've been able to overcome, right? But at the time, like, dude, like, people don't understand. Like, when it's your face, man, it's really messed up, dog. It really mixes with your psychology, man. Because your face is what people see, man, and it creates like, it creates a lot of just like personal question. What is the word I'm looking for? Like a self-doubt. It's terrible, man. Yeah. So God bless him, man. I hope he gets over it. It should be temporary, right? But I wish people weren't so. It shows the cruelty of people. There's already a bunch of memes, right? Like of his face, man, and it just shows you how people are, dog. And it's messed up, dog. So, man, prayers to my boy Bieber, man. Hopefully he gets healthy from that. I know people say like, oh, who cares? But it affects you, man. We all have to look at ourselves every day, and when you can't control your face and all that, man, it really psychologically kind of messes you up, man. Like there's a movie, Vanilla Sky. It's a great movie, man. I really related to that movie. Tom Cruise. It's a great. If you ever get a chance to watch that movie, man, maybe I'll review it one day. But it kind of touches on
film
stuff, man. Yeah, it's a great film, dog. So moving on, big dog.
Hey, that's well said, though, Caesar. That's big that you brought that up, and that's huge of you because I know you did experience that. When I saw his video, I felt for him because I knew, I know a little bit of what that's like, and I've had my face smashed in, and you're right. When people look at you a different way, and they don't want to look at you in a bad way, so you see that they feel bad for feeling bad and looking at you, and they try to save face and be like, oh.
No, you're right, dog. So, you feel like that
prayers. Yeah, and you don't want that, and it messes with you. But like you said, man, prayers to Justin, and hey, Justin, if this gets to you, man, God is using you for a reason, man.
Yeah,
so don't get down. This is gonna make you better than ever. We're praying for you, and we got your back. And good job for bringing that up, Cecil.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, man. All right, we got actually people out there. Oh, there, Chris Ma, what's up? Worked with him once upon a time at HP. Lotus Hustle Life. Somebody says, hey, where can we find Chris? He's in Vegas. All right, look, you got fans already, big dog.
Oh, hey guys, what's up? Yeah. It says HP. That's a spot. Hey, nothing cool, but love for Huntington Park.
All right, man. So,
I'm at Chris Garzus.
All right, and on
Instagram. On Instagram, yes.
So this got me worried, man. Did you hear about Google, man? That they had that some of the people there resigned, man, because apparently he resigned because he said that one of the algorithms became sentient.
Yeah.
But it's a lie, dog. You know what, dog? I'm gonna say this. It's Sarah Connor time, dog. We need Sarah and John Connor time right now, dog. I don't like this at all. I cannot stress it how many times. This is stupid, people. If you think this is evolution, you think this is gonna end up good, I don't, because I don't trust human beings. I don't trust every movie this is not gonna end good, dog. I don't like it. Blow that motherfucker up right now, dog. Somebody out there, dog. Hey, no, dog. I don't trust. I don't think can't control it, dog. I think it's a terrible weapon, and we need to watch out. I don't know how you feel about it. Matthew?
Yeah, we have bots on Twitter now, right? All this chaos, all this mental warfare is done by bots. That's why they're walking away of purchasing Twitter. I think he walked away already, right? If I'm not
He
mistaken.
might. I'm not sure. I'm not
yeah, so
sure.
It's already there. It's playing with your mind.
I don't like it, dog, at all. And the thing is that it's not like we're gonna realize. The thing is that that technology is so powerful that we don't even. It could have already happened and we didn't realize, dog. You know what I'm saying? They could be advanced so fast enough they don't know how to trick us without us even noticing, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't understand the web, or just one bad programming could equal the end of all humanity. One human mistake, because at the end of the day, somebody has to program it. So yeah. Man, I don't like it, dog. So
it's just like you showed in the picture, the Terminator 2. One of the scenes I remember the most. It sticks out to me vividly. There's a little scene where kids are playing, and then Arnold Schwarzenegger, the John Connor, tells Terminator, like, it sucks how we're not gonna make it, humans.
Right.
And he says, it's in your nature to destroy yourselves. We are destroying ourselves right now, people. This is it. This is the sign right here. And what gets me is how people, I read the comments, I read about it, and people, they don't care. They're laughing about it. They're just like, ha, ha, ha. So, and everyone that does care says Skynet, but it's just like, we're just moving on anyway, just letting it happen. We know what's happening, and we're just letting it happen.
Yeah, dog. I don't get it, dog. That's how people are, dog. Thank you. Oh, we have a lot of comments, man. Thank you for coming in. We'll read them all, man. One other thing I want to touch on real quick is SB. There's a new law, the SB 866, and also January 6th, man. SB 866. Be careful there, man. It's the law saying that they don't even have to ask for consent, man, and they can sick them with the vaccine. So talk to your kids out there. If you are not with that program, talk to your kids, right? If you are, then go, Still, though, they should ask parents, but it shows more how they're trying to just skip over people. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm creating sound here. That's my bad. That's me all day. But yeah, it shows how they're trying to skip over people, man, skip over parental consent. And that's a bigger issue with that, man. The other thing I want to go on is January 6th and this what I think is a dang farce, dog. Like, let me see 1 second. I'm sorry. So, January 6th, man. I don't think it's that big a deal, man. That's my opinion, right? I think that it's people did make a big mistake going there, right? I was thinking I almost went. I almost would have been one of the people right there, But an insurrection is tanks, people, this definition is dangerous what's going on, right? Because they're trying to make it this giant issue and then trying to put it in the history books, and that's what they do it, man. The history is written by the victors, and the victors write the story, man. And right now that they're trying to just change the narrative, and it's dangerous, man. Like these hearings, man, I hope they go well. God bless all those folks who got caught up in that stupid thing. Were there stupid people there who thought, yeah, man, but was that an organized insurrection? By no way, man. And that's what's super dangerous, man. And keep your eye on that, folks, because I said, like, I remember being scared, man. I remember right when that was over, like January 8th, I'm going in Orange County, and you see the big old, like, there's signs that says FBI. Look, do you know anybody who went to that thing? Come, like, it's like they're just coming for the enemy, dog. And it's like, it's scary, man. It's scary what's going on in this world, because it's like if you looked at it from the outside looking in, it would be much different, man. So last couple of things for this segment. I want to bring up the meme of the day, man, and let me see here. It kind of goes with everything that's kind of been going on, and this might offend some people, but that's kind of what we're here for if you haven't been paying attention, right? Where's it at, dog? So the meme of the day, if you listen on the radio, it's a parent there that says, "How was school?" And there's a little kid, and then the kid's looking at him, and in the next box, he's kind of throwing up a rainbow, right? Okay, and this isn't an attack, right? But this is how a lot of people feel, I would think that I would feel the same way if it was, overly religious, right? If we, because people always say that, oh, you're just, it's a pushback. But I don't remember a time when I would come home, when I would go to school, and they would push Christianity on me, dog, or hardcore. Like, I don't. Did that ever happen to you? Like, but now there's like, and the thing is, there's no. But the thing is, like, especially if you're trying to push that, if you're worth, which is fine, everybody can do what they want, but this is what the way people feel, and when you attack people's kids, you're not gonna win people's hearts and minds over. This is a feeling that's out there a lot, right? Like I said, I don't mean to offend anyone, but I want people to think, right? Because it's a feeling that's out there, and it's like this subversion. Like I said, it's everywhere, and it's very strange. That's a thing that's like, why does it have to? It has nothing to do with schooling, right? It's something that I don't remember my teachers bringing any of their politics to our school, right? And like, it's kind of like, and like I said, if you want to win hearts and minds over, you're not doing it that way, right? And if you look at the polls in the last couple of elections, it's looking like it's going to be a red wave, and this is part of it, man. So there needs to be stuff like this needs to be addressed. Cool. So, but we're gonna, what do you think about that? We're gonna linger on this a little bit. Cool. What do you think, Chris?
I again, working in education, unfortunately, I have to say that I've seen the difference with California and Nevada. I love California. I love home, and I don't share this a lot. In fact, I probably haven't. But this did have to do a little bit to do with me moving to Nevada. Californian schools, they were just pushing an agenda just too far and too fast. I respect everyone's, takes, but California was just moving way too fast. And compared to how it is right here, we honestly don't see or talk much about it. And the kids themselves, they kind of regulate the old school way that we used to within each other. And it's not pushed as much here. And man, I wish I miss home, and I would love to be back home, but it's just a little too far. I was in the classroom last year in California when they got rid of the Dr. Seuss and all that stuff. And it's like, I don't know about that, man. He taught you how to read, he taught you how to read. And, people I understand their view, but
the biggest problem, like I told you, like I would like to say, like, if I noticed that it was the other way around, I would say something too.
Yes,
like there's something happening, right? Like I always say, like I went to Seattle earlier this year, man, and like that town, it's super like one. Like I always think if you were like a traveler from another time and you came, like it's like this ritual that's going on. It's like this thing that is like when you look back, it's like permeated the society, dog, and it's like it's snuck, and it's like people just spew it. Like I was saying earlier with the movie that. Even even somebody I know a lot of people are moving away. I had somebody, I think they moved to like Kentucky, and they told me like, you know what, it's even like it's everywhere. Like you think that it's not, it is. It's everywhere. It's not, and like I said, like there's diversity. It's fine, and acceptance is fine too. But there's like there's like something happened. Like it's like when I remember when I was I'll tell you a personal story, man. I had a time when everybody in my life was a part of they were selling insurance, right? It's like. They were all involved in this insurance like pyramid scheme, right? Called it's not a pyramid scheme, right? But kind of like primary, it's like WFD, like similar, right? So that's all they would talk about. I couldn't be around them because that's all they would talk. It's like people who join a new church, like they just, what I'm saying? It's like sometimes you can't be around those people, and it's like that's what like you notice it when when you're outside of the group, you're like, there's something happening here. You're all like talking the same lingo, right? So all right, man. That's the meme of the day, the news of the day. Thank you very much, folks. We're gonna move on real quick. To the next segment, everybody's favorite segment, If I Ruled the World, okay? If I ruled the world, okay? We got a few minutes here before the commercial break. So let me talk about what I would do if I ruled the world, right? So today's actually cool, man. I could actually do this. If I ruled the world, let me see here. I would stop and I would regulate our overly litigious society, right? One of the biggest problems in our world today is that everybody wants to sue everybody for everything, right? And it's whack, right? That's what makes, I think it's the death of creativity. A lot of the reason why our sports, soccer is not that dope because you can't play on any field without, if you break your leg, you get sued, right? Everything is too organized, right? Because you can't play when I was a kid, we all played in an apartment building. Kids from an apartment building today, they can't play because they'll all get sued. The apartment building, no, you can't. There's a management and there's like nothing, right? Everything is litigious. Everybody you can't touch. There's just video going around right now by this guy called Charleston White. He's pretty famous, right? I actually usually like stuff he has to say, but he's really wrong on this one. He's really pissing me off on this one. He has this whole, I don't know if you've seen it, right? He's talking about how he, every job he gets, he sues. He's like, this is my hustle. Like every job I get, I sue them. Every job I go, I get a sexual harassment. Like that's his hustle. Like that's so low class, dog. That's so whack. Like, dude, like, just because every corporation is not, an evil, like a lot of them are evil, right? But everything, we can't have that. We can't have a society of everybody trying to sue everybody and nobody works. You know what I'm saying? Things have to happen. Okay, things have to happen. If you don't like your job, then don't do the job. But don't go in there purposely trying to sue everybody and trying to set things up because that just makes everything terrible for everyone, right? And there's a world of shady lawyers, right? And all kind of there's everything. Everything is sexual harassment. Or another one that's terrible is copyright, right? You ever seen a movie by Lauren Lessig about copyright? It's a great movie, right? But copyright, when it was originally done, it was only for a few years, right? Because then things go to the public domain. But then the powers that be, they made it so it became like 100 years, right? And that's just really so. And it sucks because, like, you know how you can't sing Happy Birthday at Chili's? They sing you some other weird song because they'll get sued because somebody owns Happy Birthday. All that shit is stupid, right? But it goes to an over litigiousness, right? And like our and then it's gonna get more because now with like the virtual worlds and all that coming up, right? Like the metaverse, it's all intellectual property, right? So intellectual property is like the property of the future, right? And that's gonna all be like a trip, dog, and like there's no loyalty, there's no honor, right? There's just even like I know people who are lawyers, right, or who are in law school, right? And I always thought, because I find that very interesting, right? I always felt like that was something I thought I wanted to do, right? But it's not even like, it's not like what you think, like, oh, they go into the client, into the courtroom, and they're battling with the judgment. Nah, dog, it's just like billable hours and paperwork. just all day long, just doing the filing and doing the dumb report about billable. How many hours can I bill about work that I did? Okay, I'm gonna do research for this, $500 an hour. That's what it is, right? So I feel that our overly litigious system is a big problem. But if I had the magic crown of ruling the world, right, like my name says Caesar, right, then I'd immediately address that that issue. What do you think, big dog?
Well, as you say that, I always think about the small print in paperwork that you fill out. And I'm like, this is what's wrong with this country. You're filling out all these things, and then there's all this little small fine print that's like pretty much telling you that you're screwed if anything happens. It's like we're gonna be okay, and you're not if anything happens, Or on radio shows when they talk really fast, they do an advertisement selling cars, and it's like, but this doesn't include this, and this is also an extra $2,000 on every month you pay. It's like, well, why we got to do that? We that's why it was important to shake hands before and meet in person and look someone in the eye, because there was an honor to it, to doing business together.
Right. You have
now we don't have that.
No, we don't have that, man. You know what? Let's read. It looks like we got a lot of comments in the meantime, and let's read some of them. We got 2 minutes before we go to the break, man. We got Lotus Hustle. That's terrifying. It was probably when we're talking about the future stuff, right? And that's hey, part of my boys making a difference in our community. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Bro, they were going to the internet to harm Congress members. They broke into the Capitol. He's talking about January 6th, right? Current laws are being created with religion. We're going to disagree on that one, man. There was to me, it was a giant show. Old ladies right there with selfie cameras, police letting them in. Like, if you want to if you want to do the research, you can, man. If you want to just see what's on the news, then you're going to see what's on the news. Like I said, did they break the law? What they were supposed to go in there? No. But is it an insurrection? Was this like the Civil War? No, man. Current laws are being created with religion in mind, and they are censoring history. What makes something an agenda versus being inclusive? That's a good question. Now, what makes something an agenda versus being inclusive? It's the changing of things, right? Well, the history of the knocking down of things and the replacing of. Instead of just adding to, right, you want to replace, right? And you want to shut down one side and pretend like it never happened, or shut that whole idea down and replace it with something else. No, add to. You can add and you can do your own thing, right? But you can't replace things, right? In the past, it was censor our voices. Inclusion is important. 100%. It is, right? But like I said, this is what's bad about it, because I agree with you, right? But I feel like they use a good idea to subvert, right, and bring differences, right, and to bring division, right? Because it does sound everybody should be, but that's the thing. We are already Americanism is already that, right? It's already written that way, and we're going that way. But the way it's presented now is that everybody in the past was evil, and there was people against each other when it wasn't like that. So commercials coming up, ladies and gentlemen. How many seconds we got? We got like 20 seconds, 10 seconds,
20 seconds,
20 seconds. All right. So thank you guys for, and I love the conversation, man. Thank you for your comments, man. I really enjoy that, man. So what is the agenda? The agenda is, against the family, if you ask me, and against Americanism. But we'll talk to that after the break. Thank you so much. All right. Peace out.
Are you happy with your life, money, career, or relationship?
How much time we got?
People are frustrated with how life is evolving around them. What if you could change one thing to turn your life into a different direction? Would you want the insight? How could you transform your life with intuitive awareness? Learn more. Get answers today. Book a free discovery session with Coach Zena, intuitive transformational practitioner. Go to www.coachzena.com or follow on Instagram, coach.askzena.
What's up, everyone? It's your girl Jules from the Primos Chidos. Did you know that recent studies have proven that the Primos Chidos radio increases life expectancy and loss of weight? So make sure to catch us every Thursday at 12 p.m. on the TGN Latinx station.
Hey, Michael, that's a dope-ass shirt. What is that?
You know what it is. I only rock the Flyers gear, and the Flyers gear can be found with TGN Radio.
Where did you get it?
TGNradio.net. Go onto the page, click TGN Shop Store, and you can get everything you need.
I'm getting mine right now. And make sure y'all do the same. Go get your TGN merch. Enjoy your show.
It's back, Jax. Have you heard? It's back.
Michael, what are you talking about? What's back?
The podcast pit. It is returning Monday, May 23rd. Brand new venue.
Oh my God, the podcast pit is back. Exciting. Where's it at?
It's going to be at Jax's Daily at 7:30 p.m.
I know where that's at. That's at 11168 Washington Boulevard in Culver City.
So, Jax, will I see you there?
Oh, you know it, baby.
Yo, this is Jay Slee from Hollywood Unlocked, and even though they extra as hell, check out Never Not Extra on TGN Network.
That's right.
Y'all gotta have notes, cue cards, teleprompter. Fee Fi.
Fo Fum.
You already know what that means. We're live from the den. Devontae Green, proud founder and CEO of the Giants Den, also co-host Live from the Den.
Yes, indeed. Danny Crumble, co-founder of the Giants Den, also co-host from Live from the Den. Excited to engage in these conversations.
Yes, leadership, self-improvement, real conversations that Black men have or need to be having. Tune in Monday nights, 7:30. TGN Talk.
And it's only one way to end this powerfully. 1, 2, 3.
Salute.
Hey everyone, it's the Primos Chidos.
Hopefully you're enjoying this show, but if it sucks, be sure to check out our show, live Thursdays at 12.
Yeah, join me and my sister and basically my brother as we discuss everything from immigration to ejaculation.
If that sounds interesting, then we're the show for you.
Warning, the following podcast features discussion of sensitive topics, graphic content, and uncensored stupidity. Unless otherwise stated, the featured content is not discussed by professionals or experts.
If that sounds interesting, then we're
All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the show. CZALEO knows it all. Moving along with our show. Thank you for tuning in.
All right.
Let's go. We're here with the Garza Brothers today. Matthew and Chris doing our thing. All right, man. All right. So today we're gonna get into another one of everybody's favorite segments on our show, which is you know what? And actually, I want to give a shout out to Remy right there. He commented, "Thank you for sharing your story." I think like talking about my story. Thank you, man. I appreciate you saying that, man. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna get into the rabbit hole of the week, man. And this is the rap. Oh, is it the? No, my bad. Might be the great movie. My bad. Am I messed up? Oh, you're right, dog. It's the great movie of the week. My bad. The great movie. The great freaking movie of the week, and this is a movie that's big in our family, man. This is a movie to us. We spend a lot of time quoting this movie. This movie is a wonderful movie called. Where do I have the picture for it? It's called. You've all seen this. Forrest Gump. All right, Forrest Gump, and you know what? It kind of ties into everything that we're talking about, right? Forrest
Looking
Gump.
sharp.
Memorable scenes in that movie. Him and the woman Jenny, you know. Right. So Forrest Gump is a great, right? But really, what I think Forrest Gump tells the tale of more, in my opinion, it's like the tale of America in many ways, right? You know, the plot is that it's a tale of like this kind of he has like mental problems. He's not, you know, totally, you know, he just, you know, I don't want to say the R word, right? But he just set back a little bit, right? But I feel like it's like the story of like American innocence, right? Like you're either Jenny America, or you either went Jenny's way or you went Forrest Gump's way, right? Like Jenny was like all the new ideas, right? All the new hippieism and all that stuff, and what it led to, right? Like if you went down that path, you know, and like maybe America went down that path as a whole, right? And how it ended up, right? She ended up, you know, having, you know, a tough time, and then she, you know, at the end she got apparently she got AIDS, right? And then she passes away, right? While, you know, Forrest Gump is like, you know, the good old values, right? He just stick to the story, get the job done, dog, and he has an incredible life, right? There's so many just good parts of that movie too, dog. So many parts that that just make it so good, right? That make it so memorable. Like trying to find clips for it is just hard because there's just so many, right? Let me play some of the memorable ones on this one, man. So let me see here.
Just play the whole movie.
I wish I could. This is everybody knows.
Tiger. Can't sit here.
You can't sit here.
Sweetest voice in the wide world.
You can sit here if you want.
I had never seen anything so beautiful in my life. She was like an angel.
Meets the legendary Jenny, right? So it's like a love story, man. Like they're like as their kids, right? They're so fun. I want to go. It reminds me of my son Jimbo right there, man. You know, shout out to my son Jimbo, man. But you know, it's like Jenny. It's like, and it's so funny how they make the kids look all mean right there. Like those are like the white kids of the '60s. Like they were me back then, but people today like you ain't ready to get to white kids like this. You are a damn liar. You look mean as they all sound like oh, but they're like you can't sit here. Psych. You know,
chewing tobacco.
Look like tough ass kids that he
working at the mine.
Yeah, dog. And then so it's just tough. But then you know she you know it's great. Like you all see the theory now that you get older. You're like, man, she kind of messed up. She left that fool, and then when you know, and then she goes have this wild life, and then once he's a millionaire, she's like, oh, let me come back to your life. Your son is shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of low key shady, Jenny. You know, I used to be a big fan of you, but as I got older, oh no, it's a little bit of a little Forrest was a simp in there a little bit, dog. You know. I brought this up before. You heard the idea of hypergamy, right? Like women, there's the idea like beautiful women, right? Like the women, they wait at the finish line and fuck the winners, man. You know what I'm saying? And Forrest Gump was a good example, unfortunately, of that, right? There's another classic scene, right?
We don't want to see anybody left behind. Is that Mr. Gump? Mrs. Gump?
He's on vacation.
It goes to like, it touches on like Southern, like because it's kind of like they're kind of religious, but it's fake, right? It's all the like Southern sexuality, you know what I'm saying? Like he just, it just like, you know, the mom had to do what you had to do for her son to get an education, man. You know,
Worked for Lieutenant Dan. Though he did take care of my Bubba Gump money, he got me invested in some kind of fruit company. And so then I got a call from him saying we don't have to worry about money no more. And I said, that's good. One less thing.
That's how simple he is, right? Like he basically Lieutenant Dan invested. They went into business after Vietnam War and all that, and then they had to invest all the money in Apple, right? But Forrest looked at it like he's some kind of fruit company, and we don't have to worry about money no more, and that's good. You know what I'm saying? Like just that's what I love, like Southern folks. I always think that people underestimate Southern folks. In my experience, Southern folks are wonderful. Salt of the earth people, right? But sometimes people say things simply doesn't mean that they're dumb. They're just smart for their own environment. You know, city folks, we're smart on our way, but you go down there, you're a fool. You know what I'm saying? Same way backwards, right? So like just all that stuff, right? Like it's just such a great movie. And like I said, like the whole part with Vietnam when he goes to the thing and he's like, he breaks up the black, he's like, I'm sorry I broke up your Black Panther. It's dope how it touches on history, right? And just different people in and out. What do you have to say? Because I know you have
man, how much time? You're gonna have to cut me off, okay?
We got a few minutes. Now go for it.
I'm gonna keep going.
Go for it.
So one thing that I thought about, I've embraced more about being a first generation Latino, and with that, without knowing, when we were kids, we were trying to identify with America. What is America? What do we do as Americans? What do Americans do? And I think part of you, maybe with a little bit with Forrest, you identify with football. Americans play football,
right?
And maybe that influenced you a little bit. That whole scene when he's in Alabama is so awesome. Who wouldn't want that? Who would not want that? He's just like, go run. Okay. You know, he just runs. You know, for me, I identified a lot with the military. Forrest Gump has a lot to do with me joining the military. I don't talk about that a lot, but I did a little Army Reserve time. And Forrest Gump's scene in the Army and everything, Vietnam, has so much to do with me joining the military. And even how a simple man can fit in the military and be genius in his own way. You know, it was the references, the way they called the guys Dallas and Cleveland. When I was in, I was Inglewood. I love that. That's just wonderful. A quick thing about another thing is the soundtrack, the music. If you haven't heard it, man, it's fantastic. Please listen to it. Just YouTube and listen to it. Do yourself that favor, and it's just a great time. I want to say about the mom and comparing it to the times that we had before. If you look at the mom, what she did was she prepared Forrest for the world. She didn't make it easy. She prepared them for the world. And if you look at the world today, now we're trying to prepare the world for the kids. My kid is this, so you have to do this. Don't do this. Be this way. Don't be this way, because we have to be for my kid. But that's not how we used to do it. It's to be like, hey, the world's a tough place. I'm going to get you ready for it. It's tough, but you can do it. And I think we all need to be a little bit more like Forrest Gump's mom.
Yeah, man.
Let's see. I wanted to tap in what you said something about Jenny, because I came to that conclusion. Something that I love about Forrest was, even though he was simple, he was no punk. But Forrest was no punk about his shit. He got into a lot of fights. He got down. He backed his stuff up, right? A lot of those had to do with Jenny, and that's what made me think what you were saying. Like, did Jenny really merit that though? Did she really?
I don't know, dog. Yeah, dog. Dude, Jenny did that too. Dude, Jenny, man. She be
careful, guys. Be careful, okay, guys? There's a Jenny in all of our towns. We gotta be careful.
Yeah, don't come back in favor, man. Don't come back in. She gonna all of a sudden she dissed you, and all of a sudden she's like, "What's up, big head?" Nah, made it. All right, shit, forget you. You don't believe it. Back then, they want me. Now hot, they all on me. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, man, don't accept that, young man. All right, I got some choices. I love that movie. Great choice, Mysterious Jack. What's up, Jack? You the best. After all, the Garner brothers, the type to talk during the movies and add their ad-libs, exactly yelling at the street, laugh out loud. Not new movies. No, we won't talk at new movies. We respect the whole movie experience, right? We're very much, movies is a big part of our life. But yeah, we will quote movies all day long, man. Chris with the fact, what's up, Ace? All right, big dog. All right, man. So We ran out of time, man. But ladies and gentlemen, if you ever get a chance, Forrest Gump, check it out. It'll make your life better if you haven't. There's actually a world of people who started. I remember one time I remember somebody who hated on it, who said like, "Oh, it's a terrible." I'm like, "You're stupid. It's fucking a great movie. It's what a movie should be." Like you said, Zemeckis and Spielberg, they just know how to make movies, man. And that's one of the great ones.
Can I say one more thing? One more quick thing. I know
it.
that we live in this era where people are stressed and depressed, and I get that. Something that's been soothing to me is running. Forrest Gump teaches you about running. I just felt like running. You know, even if you go out for 5 minutes, guys, even if you go for a quick run around your block, if you're feeling down and stressed, listen to your boy Forrest. Go somewhere nice and just go for a little run. It can help.
Man, dog, that's great, Chris. That's a great addition, dog. So I think I had clipped it on. I didn't able to play. I just like running. All right. All right, guys. So now we're gonna move to another very popular segment. People love that. I love the rabbit hole of the week. Okay. Are you ready to go down the whole rabbit hole of mystery with me? Oh, Chris is ready. Look, Chris is ready, dude. He's going down the rabbit hole. All right, now here we go. Down the rabbit hole of mystery. Okay, today we're gonna get, like I said, our show is here to kind of introduce you to this world of truth. I won't call it truth finding. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. It's Lotus Hustle said something right there. Jenny is the new idea as well. Yeah, man. That was really touching in autism, how capable they are to live life with. Yeah, man. Yeah, exactly. You know what? Yeah, dog. Like people say, a lot of people they shouldn't. You know, look, he had a full life, dog. So who's you to judge what life it shouldn't be, man? Raina 310, 100%. Hey, thank you for joining.
Raina!
We're gonna have all the Garza brothers will be out here eventually. We're gonna take 30 seconds, but we'll all be out here eventually. And
we'll do a documentary.
I will do a doc. All right, we'll talk about my dad, the Rolling Stone, one day, the legendary. All right, all right. So the Rolling Stone, the of the week is somewhere to get started, man, which a lot of you have heard about, right? But it's a good one because it has a lot of good ideas and good facts to make you think. Is JFK. As you know, JFK was a president, a great, very loved president, internationally loved, someone who changed the game, that was assassinated, right? Now, who did it, right? It's one of those things that to this day, the documents are all sealed, right? It's a giant conspiracy. I went to Dallas for the first time a little while back, and it's I got to walk where it is, man, and it's crazy. Like, it's like perfectly where they shot him. It's like a crossroads, man. It's like they set him up, you know? But, you know, the Kennedys and how they started, right? So a lot of the things come, like, it's like who did it, and the thing is that it's a long list of people, right? There's a lot. The thing about Kennedy, that he was a game changer, you know? Like I always said before, man, in America, man, somebody makes every family who's big today, somebody did dirty things in the past. There's like, you got to make it dirty, then you make it big. The Kennedys, they were bootleggers. They were like, you know, they were like drug traffickers, right? That's how the OG Kennedy came in. He paid for his son to win, right? He basically, the mobster dudes paid off. Like, he paid the mobster dudes to help him get town, like especially like Chicago, to win all those towns, right? But then he betrayed the mobsters once he came into office because Bobby Kennedy came after them hard, right? A lot of people say it's due to him, like he really loved Marilyn Monroe, and Marilyn Monroe loved these mobster dudes, and it's really personal shit like that. But that's another rabbit hole, right? But actually, it's part of the same rabbit hole. But anyway, so JFK ended up he pissed off a lot of people. He also pissed off the military-industrial complex, right? He really wanted to do change, right? Like I always say that, like the last 45, right? Like, it's all mafias, dog. Like, power is all mafias. It's all power groups, right? But sometimes new power groups come. Like Kennedy representing new, right? He was an Irishman, right? Remember, for an Irishman to win was like almost like a Barack Obama winning, right? Irishmen used to be like the bottom of the barrel, right? They were looked at as the less class. There was a time when you thought an Irishman, you know, that's what they thought of him, right? They thought of him
Catholic too, right?
Catholic, right? So just this whole fact, it was like a change in the game. He was just so charismatic, right? He also he knew how to inspire people. Like, I always to this day, man, his speech about don't ask what America could do for you, what you could do for America. If we had more of that spirit, we'd be in a lot of different places right now. But everybody wants everything for free, or everybody wants the government to come solve it. You know, they're not. Like, if they showed you right now, our current government not solving nothing, and they're not going to solve nothing, and you're all going to sit there anyway. But anyway, Kennedy, right? So was it the military-industrial complex, right? He wanted to, because, you know, it's all about war, right? Like what we're doing right now, Ukraine, he was stopping the system, right? They wanted to attack Cuba. They did the Bay of Pigs without him. The reason it failed because he didn't want it, right? He left the Cubans always say that, he left us all hanging, but he just didn't want to do it, right? He didn't want to give into the military-industrial complex. Now, the Cubans, they have, you know, their arguments, I'm sure, right? But, you know, it could have been them, and also could have been, this is Giancana, right? He was a big leader of the mafia that day. People say that he hired him. It's a mixture of like the Russians, the mafia, right? The CIA, and like the powers that be, right? The powers that be in the military industrial complex of our country, right? Which is basically all the companies that go to war and make money off of that, which is the pharmaceutical industry, right? Raytheon and all the satellite people and all that stuff, right? They all make money off of that, right? So the movie JFK addresses, right, some of the theories, right? There are all kind of theories, right? There's one of the things that to me is like ridiculous. I don't think it was one shooter, right? Lee Harvey Oswald, I think. Excuse me. He was part of what I think is something I talked about earlier with like MK Ultra, right? Or at least the guy Ruby, the guy who killed him. He's somebody that he didn't know. He shot him. He was like, "Why am I here?" Right? And then they shot him. You know, it's a giant cover up, right? It's one of the. It was also like a first like American national trauma. You know, like everybody remembers that. Like my life was just watching TV shows that always talked about Kennedy. Like it was like this scar that happened, 15, 20 years before I was born, but I still felt the repercussions of it.
Yeah.
Right. Like, it's like we still felt the wave of that, and I really think that's when everything changed, man. Like, there's like if the Bush, the CIA, if you look, I was going to do the thing about CIA, I'll do it later, but I feel like, things that I've researched, right? Do your own research, right? But Bush, Clinton, and all those people, I feel like that, George Bush, I really wish that I could have picked that man's brain before he died, man. If anybody that I wish I knew what he knew, it was George Bush Sr. He knows everything. He ran the CIA, he was Skull and Bones, and he was president of the United States, right? So, he knew everything, man. So I think that they had, since Kennedy, that was going to be a change, but it didn't happen. Since then, we got the neo-libs, right, and the neo-cons, and they're all the same people. And Clinton, it's all this corporate. The Democrats became just as corporate as the Republicans, and it's all come in since then, in my opinion. Any opinions, guys?
I think that he got the power too high. Of being a president. He was a politician that should have been more like a senator, because he was wheeling and dealing. He did things on the side, as many politicians do. And I think the highest level for him was senator, because when he became president, too much people had dirt on him. And I think that he pissed off the wrong people in terms of women. I don't think it was just Marilyn. He was known to be, with women, and I think he probably just angered. I think he angered the wrong people, and they rallied up with other people. And it's just like the flame. Or when you're an audience, everyone just follows. Someone sparked that idea. We should get him, and then everyone just kind of went with him. Before you knew it, you had all these people kind of involved, and that's why the whole death is mysterious too. That's my own personal opinion. I don't have much research.
Yeah, you know what? His weakness was his weakness, man. Was the ladies, man. He loved the ladies, dog. You know, it's like Marilyn is a victim of him. Like they killed her because of her. He knew stuff, right? And him and Bobby was really crazy about her too, man. There's rabbit holes about Bobby and her. He was like nuts about her, man. And there's like mafia guys that were like, she was like, Anyway, man, she was a legend, right? And then she's. What she did in front of the stage and all that, like he was controversial, and he was like, he made also what's a big part of it is the idea of Camelot, and like he made like the presidency classy, like the whole family, JFK Jr., right? Like they were like America, like they were like the prince and princess, man, and everybody looked at us, man, and it was like,
Jackie was classy.
These days of the leadership that we're like, even I was a big fan of the last president, but he definitely he didn't have that Kennedy touch, right? And then what's cool about it, and then talking on that, it was part of that whole cute thing was people thought that JFK Jr. was still alive, dog. Did you ever hear about that? People thought that part of the whole QAnon and all that.
I never heard that.
There was like there was this. Of course, this was crazy, right? People were like, the truth is that JFK Jr. is still alive. He's gonna come. He's gonna win. Freaking nuts, right? But to show you the levels that their popularity, the Kennedys go to, right? Because they've been kind of a cursed family since then, man. So the rabbit hole of the week, ladies and gentlemen. JFK, great man, rest in peace. Well remembered throughout Latin America. I remember my mom has great stories about her time. She remembers, like food baskets going down to Latin America and all that stuff, man. So,
just to clarify, a lot of you kids who think you're rebelling against the system and you're JFK, you're not. just to let you guys know right now.
Right?
You're not like JFK.
You're not. No, you're not. Let me tell. Okay, so we're gonna move on to things your daddy should have taught you for the week. All right, very popular segment, man.
Trey, you may think I'm being hard on you right now, but I'm not. What I'm doing is I'm trying to. Street, they don't have anybody to show them how to do that. They don't. You're gonna see how they end up too.
So there's a Russian proverb. It's like the goat tail. Let me see if I can get it right. Hopefully I don't mess it up, right? But there's a Russian proverb that there was two men that had a goat, right? They were neighbors, right? They both had a goat that had been inherited from their parents, the same goat, right? They both flourished with it, but then one day one neighbor's goat died. And since that day, his life went to crap, right? He couldn't pay his bills. His house was falling apart. His wife left him. It was all terrible. And the neighbor carried on with his goat. The goat had babies, and then, he carried on having a great life. Then one day, the neighbor who lost his goat, he ran into it. He goes walking, he runs into a genie. The genie gives him one wish, and gives him one wish. And what the neighbor wishes for, he says, "I hope my neighbor's goat dies." It's a human nature. Never underestimate a hater. Okay, never underestimate. No matter how good you're doing, somebody's always going to be trying to bring you down. Right? Some people will hurt you at their own, even if it hurts them. They rather see you go down. Right, like this picture of this dog. Right, they'll chase him to the end. Right, choices made in anger cannot be undone. Right, never underestimate the power of a hater. Okay, human nature is human nature. Right. Kind of like even like a lot of people like the ideas of social. To me, people who are socialists, they've never built anything, right? But they want to destroy everything, even though they never built anything. So be careful who you let around you, right? Be careful what kind of energy you let around you, because they can come and get you, right? Because like that's human nature, right? He said instead of him, some people would rather see you burn, right? Like the Joker, right? They'd rather see you burn than themselves even shine. And that's dangerous, man. There's a lot of haters out there. There's a lot of people doing stuff with their life. Like if you have stuff going on, don't take time. People who are trying to stop you or try to, don't even address them. Okay, don't even give them the time because they can be dangerous, man. And they don't all have good. Everybody's not trustworthy, So even every caste level has it, right? Even amongst the rich or super rich, it's just like human nature, man. So, and also like you shouldn't be that way because I always think that if everybody's gonna get their chance to shine, and if you live in the USA, you're already winning. Okay, you have access to Wi-Fi, English. We have, you're already winning. There's no reason to be a hater, man. So those are the things your dad should have taught you, man. So real quick, Mr. I vote CZALEO shows host a movie night. Yeah, that's a great idea. The house in Santa Monica where they used to have their secret affairs. It's right off PCH. Secret affair. We talking about the Kennedys? And then how do you handle haters, Caesar? Do you address them or you just ignore them? I used to address them in Google Hangout. So that depends on what my feet. Sometimes I don't like it, dog. Sometimes I'm here for it, dog. Sometimes I feel like fighting, dog. It's like therapy. So, and I'm winning, dog. You're not gonna beat me, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna beat me, dog. But then sometimes there's a time to ignore them. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't stay in it. You can't mire in it. Because then it will take up your day, man. Your whole time, man. Cool.
Hey, can I give a shout out to somebody who taught me about hating and why it's not cool to hate? I got to give this shout out. About 1996, 1997. Sean Puff Daddy Combs. I feel like him and Mason, those guys, they brought like, why are you hating? I'm tight. You're just a hater. And they made hater being a negative thing. And they brought that view to me. And it was like, yeah, haters are whack, homie. I'm doing my thing. Why are you hating? And I feel like Puff Daddy had a lot to do with addressing that and making it not cool.
And you know what? We're from the death row era, so for fools from our era to give props to Bad Boy is like hard. Dog, but
yeah. It's true. But they was tight with it. Hey, and Suge Knight was hating. He was hating.
True, man. That's what got him at the end, dog.
Yeah.
Good stuff, big dog. All right, man. So we're going to move on, man, to the last segment before the commercial break. Remember, though, after the commercial break, we're going to have another last 30 minutes of the show, which is freaking awesome. TGN Latinx, download the app. Thank you guys for being here, all right? Thank you guys for all your comments, too. All right, we're going to move on to the overall lowering of standards. All right? This is the segment where I talk about things that are going on in the world today that I do not agree with and I don't understand what they're happening and I must comment on. All right, so we're going to talk about Qatar 2022, okay, and the World Cup that should have been happening now. If the World Cup was during a regular time, we'd be looking at it right now. We'd be all pumped up, talking about every game. I'll shout out to Peru, man. They lost out to Australia, man. That sucks, man. But you lost, man. But what happened, dog? It's in Qatar, right? In Qatar, if you guys don't know, it shouldn't be there, man. It's a dang farce, right? That's the reason that FIFA got cleaned out because of the farce that was their bid, right? They actually, that was USA was fighting for that in other countries, and it was totally bought and totally corrupt, right? And I think it's gonna be a bit of a disaster, man. I don't like that it's right now, right? I don't like the way it's being set up, right? And I actually, dog, like I told you guys, I already have my theory, dog. If you listen to the show, you guys know what I think is gonna happen, right? Because them Qatar folks, they ain't playing, man. Them folks, man, they got loot, man. They never hear the world know, and I think the word know. And I think what you're gonna see is Messi versus Ronaldo in the final, and because that's just the show that they want to put on, dog. Like I don't know, man. I'm also not a fan of international soccer right now at the moment, man. I'm hoping, right, like because my boy's playing soccer, my boy plays club soccer. He's, I'm gonna try to get him into it. And I want him to like the stories, right? What's cool about the World Cups, you always pick teams, right? You always like. Fine. So I remember Bulgaria '94 that were tied.
Yeah.
Teams that I've gotten behind with James. I'm Saudi, so we gotta fucking always pick other teams, dog. USA. I'm hoping to
Let's go Haiti.
Let's go Haiti, dog. My godfather was a Uruguayan, so I'll be like, I'm Uruguayan. Same thing, dog. Yeah, I'm all related, you know. So, but yeah, man, Qatar 22, man. I don't know, man. I have low expectations. I got a feeling things are gonna go wrong. I also don't know who to root for. Like, I mean, what are the stories? France? Do they got some? What do you know? Do you know anything about?
No, right now I think the favorites. It's gonna be. It's not even a team anymore. It's player. Like, who's gonna get it? Is it Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi? It's not Portugal or Argentina.
Yeah.
It's like the player or Neymar, Brazil, right? So
I would. What happened to Brazil, dog? I would love for Brazil to come back, dog. Just play like Brazilians, like, you know,
money.
Yeah,
you know. Remember, that's what we're talking about with the generation. It's all money now, right? Before, remember where these people came from.
Yeah,
they
like
came
the
from
street- yeah,
poverty, like
yeah.
Ronaldo, Ronaldinho.
No,
they
the
have
thing- yeah.
shoes.
The thing is that now they all go to Europe early. Like, nobody plays Uruguay. Like, none of the before, like, they will play at least in Argentina for a while, and Uruguay for a couple of years in their clubs, and then go to Europe. Now they get them at 14, 15, and everybody plays like that style. I hate it. There's no more 10s. There's no more 10s that pass the ball.
Yeah.
Everybody's 4-4-2 and like the same, or like the false line. I hate that, dude. I want 3 forwards, 3 midfielders.
I want a center forward.
I want a center forward.
I want a clear.
Homie, you know what I'm saying, dog? Like, dude, they just not looking forward to it, dog. I got a feeling it's gonna go bad, man. We got any new comments in there? Let me catch up right here. All right, saludos desde Texas. All right, saludos. Primazos, what's up, man? All right.
That's
Lotus
what's
Hustle
up.
Life. Jenny has value like all of her. She did. Her flaws are just more obviously shown. No, for sure. It's a movie, right? Yeah, she had a reason too. She had a messed up life too, right? But you know, she also, you know, she took advantage of my boy for her stuff. Let's be honest. But yeah, man. So the lower your reputations, the World Cup. I mean, am I gonna watch still? Yes, I'm still gonna watch. Right, I'm still gonna get my because like I said, I want my kids to like it and to be into it. But you know, does anybody have a favorite team? How's Mexico gonna do, man? I feel like, you know what, my barber Heido, he has a shout out to Heido, man. He has a theory that Mexico's gonna do good because everybody thinks that they're not. Because you know, everybody's like looking down on them. They might be. That's what always happens, man. There's always those surprise teams, man. So, we'll root for them. USA, man. USA gonna have hopefully a couple of Salvi kids in it. I like England.
I didn't know that.
See them do, yeah, man. I like to see England do pretty well. Who else do I like, dog? Oh, the South American teams, man. And then there's still Costa Rica's in it. Still gonna play today, huh? Oh, Costa Rica might be playing right now, man. Does anybody know the score? Costa Rica versus New Zealand, I believe, man, to get in it, dog. I don't want to be a hater, man. So Ticos, you know, Select us way better than you guys get lucky somehow.
Let us know in the chat what the score
dog.
is.
Anybody in the chat, let us know what the score is, man, because we can't watch the game, man. But all right, guys, our commercials are coming up in a couple of seconds, man. So stay tuned. Thank you for logging into the app. Make sure you buy every product that comes out in the commercials because those are the best products out there. I guarantee it. Okay, we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Caesar, Chris, and Matthew, the Garza Bros, episode 14. See you soon. 3 minutes. Products out there. I guarantee it. Okay, we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Caesar, Chris, and Matthew, the Garza Bros.
Things just got sweeter. The Hub Radio presents First Sundays Open Mic, hosted by Ray, DJ Gamma Ray, and the First Sundays Band. They're inviting all singers, rappers, comedians, and poets to show up and show out. Sign-ups begin at 6 p.m. Sunday's Open Mic will take place every first Sunday of the month. It's just $10 before 8 p.m. and $20 after, so arrive early. The address is 1135 East Compton Boulevard. That's 1135 East Compton Boulevard in Compton, California. For more information, follow them on IG at First Sundays Open Mic.
It's your girl Gina Views. Make sure you are tuned in to Ladies Night every Friday at 7:30.
Hey everybody, this is Mala Munoz, creator and host of Mighty Juanetta, a podcast for potheads. Make sure that you tune in to Ladies Night Radio at TGN Latinx.
Yo, what's up? This is Rix.
Yo, this is Rennie.
What up? Dover in the building.
What's good, family? This is Jesse, and this is
Brown Wealth Radio. And make sure to catch us on TGN Latinx every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific, to be specific.
What's up, friends? It's Iron Friends. We're here at the Podcast Pit LA. It was so fun. We came to rep the IE. I think we did a pretty good job. So shout out to the Podcast Pit for having us. Shout out to TGN. You guys should definitely check them out. You should check me out, Saul V. Gomez.
Y'all can find me at I Know Caesar on IG.
You can find me at airbear_IE on IG.
And you guys can find the podcast at Iron Friends on every social media network except for OnlyFans. That's coming soon. So stay tuned. So follow us and follow TGN Podcast Pit. Have a good day, guys.
Wozy, it's Deshaun Showtime Watkins, and you can tune in to Compton Mania Monday nights, 9 o'clock on TGN. Wozy,
Only on TGN Sports. Hey, Jackie, what's wrong?
I'm over here running around trying to tell everybody about the Podcast Pit.
What's the Podcast Pit?
I'm glad you asked. The Podcast Pit is an event where you will find some of your favorite podcasts performing in front of a live audience.
Will there be food and drinks there?
Of course there will be. It's at Joxer Dailies in Culver City. They have a full bar and a full menu.
Hey, I may need to tell people about this as well.
Yes, come with me. Let's tell them.
The Podcast Pit is coming. The Podcast Pit is coming.
Hey, what's up? This is Jasmine Gates. I am the host of the New Black History Maker show, where we cover all things Black, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And we know you want to be in on this conversation. So make sure you catch us live every Friday at 3:30 p.m. on TGN Talk.
Hey everyone, it's the Primos Chidos.
Hopefully you're enjoying this show, but if it sucks, be sure to check out our show, live Thursdays at 12.
Yeah, join me and my sister and basically my brother as we discuss everything from immigration to ejaculation.
If that sounds interesting, then we're the show for you.
Warning, the following podcast features discussion of sensitive topics, graphic content, and uncensored stupidity. Unless otherwise stated, the featured content is not discussed by professionals or experts.
We're the show for you.
Yo, we back, baby. We back. Welcome back. Final half hour. CZALEO episode 14. Thank you, man. Episode 14. We never were happy to be here, man. They ain't watching. Not AT. She is not an option. Vans go zoom in. It's not a monster. Famous last name. You are not a monster. Trap me, nigga. You are not lobster. Anyway, all right. Don't let me get down on this mic. Don't let me burn this up. All right, guys. So moving on, man. Thank you guys for logging into the chat, man. We have a great show. My boy Chris. Where's Chris at, man? Where you at, big dog? Chris is back. All right, so we're gonna get into the news segment that I really enjoy. Hopefully the people enjoy it too, man. It's Hollywood Tales, right? So let me get the intro song going. I gotta get this. All right. Hollywood Tales. As you know, this town, people don't understand this town. There's many tales that happen in this town that don't get as much coverage of others, right? This is Hollywood. So some of the strange people that come to this crossways that is Los Angeles, I like to tell their tales, man. So today's Hollywood Tales is actually a sad one, man. It is about a young man by the name of Jonathan Brandis. Jonathan Brandis, I don't know if you guys remember him. This is him. He was a star of many movies back in the 90s, right? He came out in movies like the Never Ending Story. He was in the show Deep Quest 9, right?
Sequest.
He was a Sequest, right? He was in remember the movie Ladybugs?
Yeah.
Sidekick was one of my favorites.
Right? Yeah, Sidekicks, one of them. He was on one of those.
Both of them. Yeah, he was in both of those.
I have more pictures. Where'd they go, man? Let me see if I can find pictures.
He was in It. I remember him the most in It.
Oh, that's right. He was part of the original It movie, right?
Yeah.
That's right, man. Hold on.
That's the role I remember the most. But yeah, Ladybugs. I forgot about Ladybugs and Sidekicks. Good one, guys.
Yeah, man. So, man, I have more pictures of this young gentleman. But anyway, man, he was a heck of an actor, man, an aspiring actor. He's somebody that got caught up in the whole child Hollywood world, right? Which is a sad world, man. So, he starred in all those movies, right? He was somebody that had like a career that people were envious, and he was part of that generation of like Leonardo DiCaprio, right? Like, and also another gentleman that lost his life, River Phoenix. You guys remember River Phoenix? Yeah. Rest in peace, right? This was like this great, and you know what? I always had like jealousy of them, and I always wished that I could have been them. I remember that I would watch those movies. I was like, man, they were part. Is that still a world like that Tiger Beat world, right? That teen magazine actors. Remember that world? That's still a thing. I don't know. Is that still? Like New Kids on the Block, right?
High School Musical. That was the last run of teens that I remembered. That kids were on.
But unfortunately, that world is all dark too, man. A lot of them went through a lot of like Corey filmed it, So I'm glad I wasn't a part of that world, to be honest, right? Because they all ended up bad. Like, so what happened, unfortunately, with my guy here, he's like many a Hollywood person, right? Things were going good, or like I was talking about earlier, the Chip and Dale movie, right? Similar to them, right? If you watch that movie, it's cool because it tells how they were big in their time and then it fell off, right? And then it catches up and like Dale is still trying to make it and shit, right? This is a tale that's very common here in Hollywood. There's all kind of people that were big and they were big in 94, and then now they're not nobody, It chews you up and it spits you out, Excuse me. But unfortunately, right towards the end too, he was like getting roles, right? But like anything, the roles started to dry up. As he got older, he couldn't kind of do the teen moves anymore, right? He came out in a movie called Heart's War. He had like a big part in it. It was supposed to be like a drama movie with with Bruce
Mel
Willis.
Gibson or Bruce Willis?
No, Bruce Willis, but then he actually got cut off. It's almost remind me of like the movie, like in the show Entourage. You know, they ended up cutting that scene, and I don't know if he got depressed, man. And like, even at the end, he was like living like in LA, dog, like in a shady part of LA, dog, like like off of like Vermont and like 67, dog, like a creepy, that's where he ended his life, man. He ended up committing suicide, unfortunately. So God bless him, man. But his legacy is he still he has YouTube fan pages, he has internet fan pages. He's somebody, like I told you all the time, when he was he was in Disney movies. Like what I've named is just a few things, right? He was like one of those faces, one of those faces of that time. So Jonathan Brandis, that is his tale. I believe he started coming on TV stuff early, right? He was really from, I think, from Indiana. Then he made it out here early in his life and went through that whole thing. And another thing, guys, like, suicide, it's not cool, man. Like, this is kind of controversial, right? But like, we sometimes I think that there's like fetishizing of things like that, man. And it's not cool, like I want to put it out there that it's not cool. It's like, it's not the way out, according to our Lord and Savior, it's not the way to go. It's the coward's way out, man. So find a way. If you're going through stuff, talk to somebody. Okay. Talk to somebody. There's always a way. And it sucks too, because like, I bet you like everything, like even like the movie, like everything goes in waves. I bet you if he hung around long enough, maybe he would have caught on. He would have done a guest role. Like, you remember John Travolta? He came back. Remember John Travolta was dead? Then he came out in Pulp Fiction. John Travolta became like a joke. John Travolta went from like the world's biggest star to a joke. Then he even did then he was like he did the Look Who's Talking movies, right? And people still considered him a joke, but then he did Pulp Fiction. And then he made him a joke. And then he brought him back. He brought after all that came after Pulp Fiction. After Pulp Fiction came his re-rise, Or like right now we live in everything is recycled. Like everything I would have seen a reality show with him,
Big time.
In there, man. There's a lot of people like Milli Vanilli, remember them? Vanilli, dude, he lost his, like he could have been out here doing tours still, like just touring off that song. Like there's always, a tomorrow, especially young people. There's a lot of people depressed and stuff these days. There's always tomorrow. I tell people, man, like a lot of the music and stuff tells you today, like, oh, everything is tonight. I gotta do it right now. No. There's gonna be a tomorrow, there's gonna be a next week, there's gonna be a next month. Okay, there's time. This too shall pass. We all go through bad times in life, but those bad times are what can make you good. Don't fear from it. Don't let it defeat you all the way. Go through it. Go through that fire. Yeah. That fire is what's gonna make you better. That terrible thing, if you're going through right now, I know a lot of people are going through tough times, and they're gonna get tougher right now, man. Because if you don't pay attention to the news, we're going through tough times. They're coming, guys. But there's no, live through it. Live through it. You're gonna make it. Okay, stay in there. There's always a sunshine. If you peaked before, you can always peak again. Okay, or if you don't have to peak, just keep it steady. Okay, but rest in peace to my guy Jonathan Brandon. Like I see somebody that I used to be envious of him, man. But he had that unfortunate end. So R.I.P. Jonathan Brandis. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Yeah, man. Real quick, I have dug into this one too much. I've dug into his death too often and go deep. It's weird. It's like if I think I'm going to find something new this time, but I don't. And it's just so sad that his life ended there. What I remember for us, it looked like he had it all. He used to go out with Ashley Banks. I don't know if you remember that.
That's right.
So if you YouTube him, you're going to find like specials where he's backstage and he's VIP and he's at the beach and he's with her. And everything just looks great and happy for him. And yeah, I dug the death of him, the apartment where he last was. It's one of those old school LA apartments that was once glamorous, but when he died, it wasn't glamorous. And to go back to the suicide thing, he was with his friends because he really did take the Hearts War thing really bad. He was on the cover of the movie. It was supposed to be a big thing. So to get cut and you're on the cover in that Hollywood world, it's big.
Yeah, man.
And, his friends were with him trying to console him, and he just stepped out. So to go back to your suicide thing, think about the people that you're hurting along the way. Imagine his friends, they're like, where's he at? What's going on? Someone steps out and he's hanging, bro. He's hanging.
I know.
Imagine the guys who were with him, his friends, his people,
Yeah, dog. That is cold-blooded, dog. You traumatize them for life. Dude. They're like, they didn't even do that thing.
Exactly. And people probably ask her, where were you? What were you guys doing?
They're probably his last set of friends, man. Or maybe they were bad friends. Maybe they're out there doing bad things with him. Dog.
True.
The people you get around you is, if you could, always keep your real friends around you forever, man. My brothers, I love you guys, man. Thank you for being here, helping me out with this, man.
Love you guys, bro.
Because this is like a snake tail, man. You never know who's out there, man. So, just a sad story to him. Rest in peace. Like I said, if you need help out there, guys, get it. He missed the whole podcast world. He could have been having a podcast now or something. Who knows, man? Like I told you, there's always a tomorrow, guys. There's always going to be a new thing. You will make it out. There is a tomorrow, man. So, all right, we're going to move on from that segment, guys. Today, the Hollywood Tales, okay? We're going to move into our new segment. Today, we're going to get to know my guest here, my little baby bro here. Not my little baby bro, but my baby bro, okay? Where I got the video here for? All right, hold on.
Uh-oh.
We're going to get to know what you all about. Player. A lot of questions here that I hear from you. The script that I sent you didn't have these questions.
It did not.
Right? It did not. So now you have a bunch of questions, and we're going to find out who you are, if you're really part of the CZALEO world, or if you are not. See if you are who you say you are. All right.
Dun, dun, dun,
all right. So first things first, did we land on the moon?
Nah.
Nah? You had to say nah? You don't think so? Why?
I've put too much. I haven't wanted to do this one too much. I just think we were just competing with Russia with the way that things are now. Before I used to believe it, but now seeing how the media is now and the way we can't prove it because it was so far along, they could have hidden it so well. They didn't have the technology, the recordings that they do now. So I think it was hidden. It would have been easy to believe. I would have believed it. The shadows and the way it moves, I would have believed it. But if Russia hadn't done Sputnik, maybe I would have believed it, but the fact that we were rushing and competing with them and trying to be number one, and I've seen USA. Yeah. What's that?
Yeah, you've seen we had to be you know
what we do. I've seen how we do things. Now that I'm an adult and I've seen how we do things and how we portray things and display things, I'm like, I don't know. And we don't hear about them that much more anymore either. We don't talk about, there's not that many specials on them. It's kind of like hidden, the questions that are asked to them.
Yeah, okay. Tight, dog, tight.
And just to let you know, I was named, my middle name is Neil after Neil Armstrong, so it hurts me to hurts me to say that. It hurts me to say that. Believe me, it's not easy for me to say that.
That's some deep stuff, dog. All right, dog. What is the greatest football team on earth?
Dallas Cowboys.
That's right, boy. Dallas Cowboys.
Give me that star, baby. USA. Hey, Vegas has a lot of Cowboys fans.
That's right. Everywhere, dog. America.
Everywhere.
Good Americans over there. All right, big dog. If you could time travel, would you do it?
Yeah.
And where would you go?
But you know me, Caesar, and Matthew, you guys know me. I'm old school. I would definitely go to the 50s, the 60s. I would definitely go back to that time when America was at its peak. Really? Just the old school down America, just see what it was really like, be a part of the values of the home, how people went to school. I would definitely go to the past in a heartbeat. I'd be at a diner.
You think that's what it was for sure? You don't think that it was all TV and it was really fucked up back then, maybe?
No, because I think that the values were there. Again, the generational thing we talked about, it's no longer there, but before it was there. So everyone kind of kept each other in check, especially since you go back now and look at how people filmed the past. It's still the same. People still aren't changing it. It was easy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was easy to identify. This is how this was. This is how this was. The only thing was race.
Confusion. Yeah, no, that's
the only thing was race. Man. That was a tough part.
The part is like the racist part is.
But it was defined. At least it was, in this area is this, in this area is this. Yeah, it was black people. Yeah.
Shout out to AC saying I'm out here with the Dallas talk about.
We're used to that. Don't worry about it.
He said go Bosnia. Okay. All right, Chris. Where you from, fool?
Inglewood. I was born in Torrance, but raised all my life in Inglewood. I've been there.
What was that like?
37 years. I love it. I wouldn't change it at all. I wouldn't change it for anything in the world. I had a chance. I talked about this on another podcast. I had a chance to move to Palmdale.
Another podcast?
A while ago. Shout out to my boy Marlon. But I talked about how I could have moved in high school. I got into some trouble and I could have moved and started a new high school and done all that. And then I was just like, nah, man, I'm gonna be, I'm not gonna be like Will Smith. I'm not gonna be the chicken to go. That episode. I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay in Inglewood. I'm not leaving Philadelphia. I'm not leaving Inglewood. Whatever happens to me, it's gonna be in Inglewood, and I love it. Inglewood is such a part of me and who I am. And there's always I see how different I am being an Inglewood cat from being other things. From being other places.
I always say, man, like there's certain people from there's certain towns that those people that have mad pride, dog. Inglewood is one of them.
Yeah.
Inglewood people, now you be like, I'm from Inglewood. San Pedro people are the same. San Pedro, they're like San Pedro, they love Pedro, dog. They're like down for their shit, dog.
True.
There's just certain people, there's certain talent that it just comes out of them, dog. You know, Inglewood people are like that. You know.
You know what's funny is right now I'm working with kids, and I'm always telling them like I'm from Inglewood, and anywhere I go, that's established. You know, oh, you're from Inglewood. Oh, Mac 10. Oh, Inglewood. But these kids, not as much. And I'm like, hey, what's going on here? We need to fix this real quick. So
get to Hollywood. That's what happened.
Yeah. I talk about de-smoking those kind of guys.
Sorry, dog. Okay, I got another question for you. If you could have, if you could live your life all over again, but you get 3 upgrades on your life that you can start over with, what would you do? What 3 upgrades would you have? What would you get, if any?
I would have been. This is a new thought, but I would have been a little taller. Yeah, I was
you're pretty tall already, fool. Yeah.
I know. That's why I never thought about it recently. But I just curious to like, what would it be like to be like 6'3"? Yeah,
right, straight up.
And definitely, I got an easy one to go with that. I would have been a bigger person. I was very slender, and I've always been a very skinny kid. And now he's got a big old belly. But I always wanted to be like a football tight end. I want to be that big. What would that be like to be just a big dude walking into a room and it's just that big old boy right there? You know what I'm saying? You're just big. People just call you for things.
Yeah,
like, get this big boy right here. Come here, big guy. You know what I'm saying? I never had that. So
I'll go pick you up. Yeah. I was always a tweener. I was always like a tweener. Like, it's like, your lineman is your lineman. He's not fast. It's like, it sucks. It's rather than be fucking big or be fucking small.
Yeah, man. And other than that,
to be ace.
What he said?
He said basically you want to be ace.
Yes. I would have Ace's beard too. I would have the beard game that Ace has.
Oh, Matthews, dog.
Matthews.
Here, dog.
I'm the middle one. Oh, you got a beard, C's, right now?
No, heck no, bro. You know.
So you got no beard. I got middle beard, and Matthew got beard. No, you got some beard action. You got some beard.
Let's change the subject, dog. Let's not linger on this one.
But the last one, and if I could pick one more thing, for fun's sake, I would have had cable television since I was a child because we didn't have cable either until we were.
No, we never.
I think it would have influenced us a different way.
Straight up.
Cable a little sooner.
We were fucking straight channel 2 through 13, and then like 52, 28, and 34.
The antenna, the key. Put the antenna in the key.
Straight up, dog. Yeah, we were good, dog.
Us.
Yeah, dog, we did this. Well, maybe it was better. Dog. We did it before, dog. We really. I was like, when I went to college and I used to spend a gang of time just consuming television. People were like, just get out. I'll be like, well, I never had TV before, dog, I
totally miss MTV, and I see how I miss out on that. I'm always out of those references with people.
Right. Okay, tight, dog. Okay, so have let me see. What message would you give to our parents if you could about the job they did raising you? That's hard. That's a hard one. Why did I do that? That's got to. I put here. You know what? I think I wrote something and I don't know what I meant. So I just wrote a message to our parents.
I would say thank you. Of course, I would say thank you, and you did a great job because lately.
Hold on a second. Before you go to what's the message you would give to our parents if you were a little kid? The message you would get as a kid. That's the thing. What it was like, hey, like chill on that, or like you did good with this. Does that work? No.
Yeah. I always loved their confidence in me about just being yourself. Both of my parents. I would really thank them for always putting that message. Hey, just be yourself, because who you are is a winner. Our dad, our dad is crazy, but my dad, one thing I love about, he always instilled such a confidence. He never said, do this, do it like this. No, why don't you do this? It's always like, you're tight. Just get it done. You're cool. Just get it done. Yeah, exactly. And my mom was always like, just be yourself. Just be yourself. The one thing I would tell them maybe otherwise is raise each kid different. Each kid is different. So remember that. Each kid needs a little more of this, a little less of this. So I would have personalized it for myself.
Okay, nice, man. LA Galaxy or LAFC?
Oh, man, that's Galaxy. I was there for that conversation last time.
That's right.
I was there. So,
right.
What people don't know is that we're original LA Galaxies. We were at all the games that first inaugural season. We were. Oh man! Shout out to Andy, man. Andy, our brother, made that happen, man, it was great. My dad too. He took us to a couple games.
You think I'll ever be Andy on the show?
It would be great. I think we should. He would. Oh man, I don't know if the world is ready for that one though.
That should be a special. A 3
That
hour.
should be a special.
Yeah,
But yeah, definitely the Galaxy. Well, we saw real quick of what it could have been. The magic of LA, soccer in Los Angeles, and we could have been embracing all the Latinos and all the people in LA, all the Americans. I hope we can go back. I think we can. I think we can go back to that.
Okay.
You guys remember the shootouts?
Hell yeah, that was
good one, Matthew.
I know they tried to change the sport, but that was awesome.
Yeah, dog. It wasn't funny. It was a penalty. Yeah, it was like you wanted it to happen sometimes, dog. You know.
Yeah.
That was good ideas, dog. And then you know what? Let me tell you something right now. Kobe, people always like give up. Kobe, as like real Galaxy fans, Kobe Jones was terrible. Dog. Kobe missed all kind of shots, dog. Kobe Jones, he just had to look, dog. But USA, I'm like, I don't know why he was actually that fool would miss a grip, dog. He would, he was just really fast. He was like a corporate soccer player. I felt like that. But if you actually, he would mess up a lot, dog. But anyway, all right, dog. So last
most definitely most shots we've seen for sure.
Was I a good big brother?
Yes, you were a great big brother. Always
be honest.
Even
I go through errors and be back.
Well, okay. When we were little, you gave me the brother torture stuff. You had the remote. You'd be like, if you want this, smell my feet or some shit like something like that. I was your guinea pig. Used to set me to fight sometimes. You'd be like, here, go fight this guy. You too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You go at it with him, and it would be at church. So it was funny. One thing you always taught me and included me in your things. So if my mom said you have to take your brother, you didn't it wasn't the end of the world. You weren't like, oh, I hate you for doing this. You were like, you would just tell me, hey, be cool. This is how you be cool in these scenarios. And I think you always taught me how to be cool, how to dress, what's in music, what's the latest with the girls. And I always tell you with your friends when you guys were in high school, that was like opened my world to me. It was just like, okay, this is how you do things. And I took that mindset to my friends and my group, and we're still friends today. So, and as an adult, you do good, brother. You do good. You always do good. Look at you have me here today.
I love you, I love you too, Matthew. I love
you too, brother. Love you too, Matthew. Matthew's younger. Matthew's younger, but he's like an older brother too.
Yeah.
So you showed him to be a Dallas Cowboys, and I followed Chris. So it's always
I don't understand people who are families and they have like separate football teams. Dog. What's wrong with you people? Dog?
Yeah.
You ask my mom, she's like, I love Cowboys. You don't know nothing about Cowboys, dog, but we are fans out here, dog. You know what I'm saying? All right, dog. So, all right, go. Good stuff, man. That's our boy Chris. We all got to know Chris a little bit more today, all right?
Yay.
So we're getting to the end. Thank you for your chats, man. Everything, man. It's always a great show. Great time being here with you guys. We're going to get into this is actually what we call recap. We're actually going to do a little bit of recap and miscellaneous. Is there anything that we wanted to talk about that maybe we forgot to include? Something that you want to bring up maybe from a past episode, right? Corrections and retractions of things we might have messed up on in the past. Does anybody here have anything that they want to bring up again that we talked about?
I wish I had more time because all these episodes you come out in, I have so many things to say about Bob from La Bamba. I mean,
go for it.
A League of Their Own, but I'm gonna keep it a little close right now.
I think we should do a movie podcast, all the bros, man. That's what I think.
That'd be great, Matthew. Matthew has a lot of great insight on movies too. So Matthew, we definitely need you on that one too.
Like a movie companion, right?
Yeah, something like that.
That would be dope. Was watching a good movie.
We grew up. Our dad, we are the movie. That's something our dad is. Movies were big to him. That's how he showed love. He would take us to the movies. Yeah. So like we remember we would go to, and he would work in downtown, so we would go to like Man's Chinese, Hollywood, the old Egyptian and all that, man. So I had a whole thing about don't ever take away the movies. It's magical to us, man. So
yeah, we saw Sidekicks, that movie with Jonathan Brandis. I remember all of us saw it in theaters.
Yeah,
I remember that. But the one that I wanted to bring up, if I could, the miscellaneous. Earlier we were talking about. I just want to give a shout out to the University of Oklahoma women's softball team. We were talking about rebellion and kids. These kids are rebelling, but they won the national championship, these girls, and then they sang a song about Jesus. And the whole whole tour is all about Jesus Christ and following God and putting God first. And they're walking the water. They told themselves about walking the water like they did when they followed Jesus. If you haven't looked them up, guys, look them up. University of Oklahoma. I hope my daughters go to University of Oklahoma.
That's awesome, man. Now that's bravery. That's actually bravery. In today's world, that's actually being brave. Let's be honest. You know what I'm saying?
Check it out if you can.
Being brave, man. Wow, that's super cool, man. Let me see what else we got here. The stuff that we brought up today about the sale. Like I said, man, that Google thing, that thing really scares me, man. I guess maybe let's talk a little bit more about January 6th, man. Like, and what's going on with the, like, like I said, dude, like the people who went in there, it was like a drunken party. People went in there. It was a dumb thing. That's a crime, right? They should be punished for that. But it's not, it wasn't some organized insurrection, right? It wasn't some, there's so many videos of them being walked in. People just, even the whole thing, they're all perfectly staged, perfectly pictured, right? It was like people who got too drunk. And I feel like they were set up, dog. If you ask me, it was a setup, dog. They set them up from day one, and then they're trying to make it this giant issue. They're trying to make it like you must no, you cannot. People cannot out there really believe that this is some kind of giant day of remembrance, right? Or
did you hear about that candidate that was running in Michigan that got arrested by? That's shady. Like that was a game right there.
Yeah, what he's saying is that somebody, so he was about to win, but they used the fact that he was on January 6th to arrest him. So, like I'm telling you, this is like political things. Like I'm telling you, even if it was on the other side, you guys can't allow this because this is like purging. The thing is that there's going to be a day when you're not in power and they're going to do it to you. You've heard that, like the idea of useful idiots, right? The thing is that they use people who always talk about the revolutionary talk. When the day comes when the people actually take over, they're going to kick you in the face and kick you out. Or you're just parroting these ideas that you don't understand. They don't help you. Like, if we go after people like this, I'm telling you, one day the other people be in power and they'll be able to do unfair things. We have to be righteous. We can't just be on our side. You know what I mean? And like you said, they arrested him. They're trying to use all this. What they're going to do is try to not have Trump run. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's really like, since it is, so then, and the thing is, dude, that's going to cause a bigger problem. If you guys don't let him run, and even if he loses, if you guys can't not let the people have what they wanted. If that's what the people want, that's what they want. And if you do some kind of political, it's going to create just more division. It's going to create really probably people, we're already at a cultural civil war, man. Like if people look back in time, things that are happening these days are already sparking those kind of things, man. So I feel like that's dangerous, man. So let's watch it, man. Okay, guys. So we're actually coming up on the last couple of things. I think you need to watch actually happen because it was definitely planned. It's not about size. There is footage. So like I said, man. No, like I said, there were people in the bad, right? But there was people that was like a planned thing, dog. So like I said, we're probably gonna be on different sides. But what I want you more to do anything is think. And thank you, Lotus Hustle, for staying on for the whole episode, man. That's a real mad respect to you for disagreeing, but watching the whole show. Props to you, man.
I was gonna say that. I'm gonna follow this person. I'm gonna follow this. Is it on this? Is that your name on Instagram?
Lotus Hustle Live.
Lotus, is that the Instagram? It's not about. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Let us know, buddy. I'll give you a follow.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and do more research if you go ahead and do more research too, man. And hopefully that way everybody could get on the same playing field and not listening to these sides that have us all fighting all the time, man. So last couple of things, I want to give a couple of shout outs. Shout out to Chris and Matthew for being here today. Matthew did a great job today. First day engineering. Rounds of applause for Matthew.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and put applause to myself.
We miss you. Go for it, dog. We were having a great trip. He's going around America, seeing this great country with his family. So God bless you, big dog. Big shout out to this place I love to go eat at called Baja Rosarito right there in Inglewood on Imperial. It's like border of Inglewood and Hawthorne. I just love that place. It's still old school Mexican food, man. They only take cash. You know what I'm saying? They get they do everything they do there is like homemade. They always treat me nice there, man. They always make me feel like everybody knows my name right there. So big shout out to Baja Rosarito on Imperial. Before you get to Hawthorne Boulevard. Try it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, saludos. I love my people out there, man. So out to everybody out there. Be free thinkers. Remember, I do not know everything. Any wise man knows that he does not know it all, but I definitely know more than you. All right, just kidding, man. CZALEO, love you guys. See you next time.
Thank you.
We gotta go. Yeah.
Nice exit song.